Hello everybody, my name is Joshua.
And my name is Paige.
And we would like to welcome you back to an episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we will discuss books, both new and old, share with you pictures of our cats that will make you wish they were your cats. And I will drink enough coffee for me, her, and everybody else watching.
Yes, because I'm only drinking water right now.
Yeah. So, Paige has made me a very fancy coffee. This is a watermelon coffee,
Yes,
and
from Nespresso.
yeah, it is surprisingly strong, considering that it's watermelon. But it's good.
Can I try it now that you put half and half in it? I didn't like it when it was black.
Sure. See, I almost kind of preferred it black. I think I put too much half and half.
No, that's better.
Well. Anyway. So, we are on here today to do another
Buddy read.
buddy read. Yeah, there we go. Those are the words. We have done this before. Actually, we have done this before with this author, but you folks didn't actually get to see that, which is unfortunate because it was a fantastic book. So
Oh, it's right here, actually.
Yeah,
It's got the
it is. Hey, look at that.
paperback.
Yeah, so last year we read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle together, and it was fantastic.
Yes.
We both loved it, which really isn't a surprise because if you can write twists and turns and keep your reader guessing, but everything makes sense by the end in the same way that Christie can, then you have a fan in both of us.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Stuart Turton did there. Very, very impressive. I still can't believe that was a debut novel for
I
that
know.
man. It's
Yeah.
insane. So, point being, we have decided that for this next buddy read, we are going to read his next book, which is The Devil and the Dark Water, which I'm probably going to put a picture of over top of my face because her face is way too pretty to cover. So there you go. There's that. No, you're being covered. Okay. So there's that. Devil in the Dark Water.
It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Yes, it is. I think 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is as well. But we loved it so much we had to get a physical copy.
Yes.
So we're going to be reading it on our phones. Do you have anything to add? Since I've been blabbering for the last 4 minutes.
I guess we can say what the book is about, right?
That might be important.
So The Devil in the Dark Water. It's still like, what is it called? A locked door?
Yeah, it's a locked room mystery.
Locked room
yeah.
mystery. But it takes place on a ship in the middle of the ocean. So I think that it's perfect to read in the summertime. That's why I wanted to read it specifically now. Because I'm working on like a summer bucket list that I gave myself. And this is one of the books on there. And I know that you were interested in it too. So
the basic synopsis, I think, is that essentially there are these two gentlemen. One is sort of the muscle, the other is most definitely the brains, more of a Sherlock Holmes fellow. They are now being transported on the ship because the brains of the operation has committed some sort of crime. You don't know what it is. You just know that, you know, from the start of the book, he's in shackles and handcuffs, and he's being transported on this ship along with a lot of very important people. And before they can get on the ship, they are warned essentially that the ship is doomed and that anyone who boards it is going to die. But of course, no one listens because no one ever does.
why would they?
Right. And since the brains of the operation is technically a prisoner, it is now up to the muscle to do the work. So, that's the basic premise. There's obviously going to be way more involved. For anyone that has read his first book, you should know that this man will weave circles around you.
Yeah.
And I fully expect that that's going to happen here too. So, really excited to get into this. Really excited to get into it. It is longer than the 7.5 Deaths. I think this one is just under 500 pages. So, like I said, we are going to probably do our first update somewhere around the 25% mark, and then go from there. and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay. Hopefully, in our next update, Paige will do most of the talking instead of me.
We'll see about that.
All right, folks. So we are back. I just got off work, so I do not actually have coffee right now, but I do have these caramel cold brew M&Ms, which is going to be my substitute for coffee.
Can I have one?
Yes. I've had them in the fridge all day, so I should have warned you before you bit into it.
Oh, good. Very chewy.
Uh-huh. This is a great update already, right? This is what you came for. So we're at the 25% mark, and well, how do you think it's going so far?
I'm definitely intrigued. It is hard to keep up with all the characters, but I appreciate that at the beginning of the book, there's like a manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest of like
Close
who
enough,
all is
yeah.
on the ship and where their rooms are. There's a map. So it is nice to like reference that throughout when I forget like who somebody is supposed to be.
I haven't looked at that thing once.
It's the difference between us as readers. I mean, for the most part, I can figure it out, but there are some instances where it's not as clear with the context of who's who, so I go back to that. And it's also hard because the names are not easy names to pronounce. So, you know, when you come across a name and you just kind of like, blah, blah, blah.
Like Joey trying to speak French.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's also why it's harder for me to keep up with the names. But
You know, you're used to those romance names.
yeah.
Jake and Daffodil.
You're such a jerk. Yes.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
But yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking it. He's already had a couple little twists thrown in there. And
like finding out people are related. A lot of questions I answered.
Yeah, he's just Stuart Turton is seems to be anyway very good at just keeping up intrigue more than anything. You know, you're never bored. I think if it were a weekend or something, then we could probably both sit down and read through this whole thing. You know. Yeah,
because you just want to know what's gonna happen so badly.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not predictable in the slightest.
Yeah. Well, we're totally invested, totally intrigued by the story, and yet we don't have a single clue what the heck is actually going on.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
I don't know if there is I don't know if there's any sort of supernatural element. I don't know what the brains of the operation has done still. That is so awful that he's gone from, you know, this god figure to everyone, to a man that is, you know, not even down in the brig. I mean, they literally have him in a hole underneath someone else's room in the ship, where there's enough room for him to sit down there, and that's it.
I definitely was very caught off guard when when the author revealed that he is so like well respected.
Yeah. And so I've seen this in other books where they try to kind of drag the mystery out, and there's no good reason for it. You know, but here Stuart Turton does a great job. Basically, the muscle, the guy that we're really following here is Arendt. And he he keeps trying to find out, you know, why is my partner, you know, being sent to trial to begin with. And essentially he's been told, we can't say because you're going to be questioned too, and if you really don't have anything to do with this, you need to be shocked and surprised when you hear what happened. Because it's the only way that they're going to believe that you're innocent. And it actually makes a lot of sense. So I appreciate that there is a legitimate reason for our main characters know as little as we do.
Yeah. I do hope... I don't think this is a spoiler. You can cut it out as you think it is. But it's based on the title. As of right now, the theory as to what is causing the threat on the ship is that people think it's related to some kind of devil figure. I don't know. I think that I want this to have a supernatural element of some kind, or some kind of like fantastical element. But I hope that it doesn't turn out like, oh no, just kidding. It was just this guy being really clever. But I feel like it could also go that way. But I feel like that would kind of like ruin the magic for me. I guess it's because his first book, I feel like it had a very different twist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like that was in addition to the main mystery. It's like there was this other.
Yeah. There was a point where it suddenly turned to an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
Where.
Or like a Black Mirror episode or something.
And maybe that happens here too.
Yeah, so I'm obviously hoping for that because that's what I loved about the first book. I loved how he took an Agatha Christie style story and made it modern. So I'm obviously hoping that it goes more in that direction instead of just the typical, like, oh, it's the person you least expect.
We'll have another update for you at the halfway mark.
Yep.
Alright folks, we are back. We have finished to the 50% mark now.
Yep.
Impromptu cat footage here. Havoc. Oh, and chaos. And guys, I say it every time, but I promise you, any of the mess you see on the floor is 100% cats. Actually, very plainly people. So back at the 50% mark, and
what are you thinking about it so far?
Still very much enjoying it. It seems that the characters themselves are beginning to push more towards the supernatural side.
Yeah.
They think that this is supernatural in nature. And yes, we do have our coffees. Paige has an iced coffee. And I have a hot coffee. Because I'm a lunatic. Because it's currently 90 degrees in our house.
Yeah, our AC is out, and he's still drinking hot coffee.
So.
I don't know how you do it.
But yeah, so the characters are certainly taking... man, you make my head look massive. There we go. There we go. Characters are more and more sold on the idea of this old Tom, demon, devil, boogeyman figure, and the captain of the ship is basically just saying, look, whatever you do, do not let these sailors find out, because if they're all very superstitious, and if they get wind that there is something like that on this ship, or they think for a second there's something like that on the ship, people will die.
There will be
yes, they will go absolutely nuts. They just can't help themselves. So you got that going on, and
everyone's turning on each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's mad and angry and defensive.
Just when you start to sway to one side where you think, okay, well, there's clearly someone just setting all this up, manufacturing this, then he throws something in, like, you know, a person crawling out of the ocean to peek at someone through a window. There are some great one-liners in this, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Stuart Turton has some things to say, especially in regards to feminism or the lack thereof at that time. So, for instance, one of the main female characters has a daughter that is very clearly just hyper intelligent, and she's constantly telling her, you know, look, you have to tamper that down. You can't let these guys see how smart you are, because if they realize that you're smarter than them, then it's going to cause issues. Unfortunately, I'm sure is, you know, very, very true of most nations in the world. Some of them still today. A lot of them more today than they probably care to admit, our own included. But yeah, you're good about highlighting passages.
Yeah, I have some highlights I wanted to share.
All right, focus is on you.
You know what men are when there's nobody ordering them to be better. They don't need old Tom whispering suggestions in their ear. Evil comes from in here. It's born in us. It's what we are when you take away the uniforms and the ranks and the order.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that's going to be like the theme of the whole book. Is, you know, is evil really this supernatural, otherworldly thing, or is it just something that's within the humans around us? I have a feeling that's going to be like the main theme of the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously everyone keeps treating Sarah, the main female character, you know, as if she's like this dainty, noble woman who's supposed to always be, you know, perfect. And someone says to her, "You're the wrong kind of noble, Sarah." She said, "I certainly hope so." That was my favorite line.
Yeah.
Scared people will do anything to stop being scared, and they'll do it to almost anybody else. Anger makes good men stubborn and stubborn men petty. They won't hear you. Deference was something she was supposed to put on every morning along with her cap and bodice. Yeah. And I also can't decide. I'm obviously working the romance angle while I'm reading because I love reading romance books, and I can't decide.
The Arendt.
Yeah. I can't decide if I want Arendt and Sarah to be together or if I want Arendt and Sammy to be together.
For reference, so Arendt is the muscle that I referred to in the beginning. Sammy is the brains of the operation. Mm-hmm. Sarah is married to
the governor.
To the governor, yeah, the general governor, who is like the most powerful guy on the ship right now, and. So probably not a good idea for Arendt to hook up with her for that and other reasons.
But they're so cute together. He treats her like a human instead of like all the other men treat her.
Do you have any guesses on what's going on yet?
Well, am I allowed to say spoilers?
Go ahead.
Well, it's our
spoiler panda first.
Yeah. It's already been revealed that a lot of the people that are on the ship have already interacted with this old Tom, and so they're clearly all connected because of this previous old Tom resurgence, if you will, that happened what, like 30 years ago or something. And it was revealed that back then, the reason why Old Tom came was because it was summoned by the general and Arendt's grandfather or whatever. So clearly, like, someone is probably like just like trying to get back at the general. And clearly someone arranged for all of these people to be on the ship. But I don't know. I don't know who it could be. It's probably more so related to one of the female characters. I think because he's making feminism such a strong point, I feel like it has to come back to that somehow. But I don't know. That's all I got. I'm not good at figuring out mysteries. You probably already know what's going to happen.
No. I think it's a little too early to come to any definite conclusions yet.
Yeah.
But going really well. And we will be back shortly with the 75%.
Yep.
And then finish this baby up.
Sounds good.
Alright, Havoc, at the 75% mark, what are you thinking about Devil in the Dark Water?
Not enough hair snakes.
Oh, is that it? Oh my goodness, oh goodness. That's terrifying. What do you think, buddy?
He's scarier than old Tom.
Maybe he is old Tom.
Chaos is by the back door.
Let's see if we can get Chaos too. Hold on, buddy, we'll play some. Hi, Chaos. Please don't run away. What do you think of the book? I know you probably finished it in a day. Yeah?
Well, chaos is the inspiration for Pips.
Clearly. In case you guys didn't know, it is said that Sherlock Holmes once requested Chaos's help to solve a case that he couldn't quite comprehend. What did the humans think of this next 25%?
Well, there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad that we had to stop because I think we're finally at a breakthrough.
Uh-huh.
It seems like the Governor General knows who Old Tom is or who Old Tom is possessing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It literally ended with him going to the door of somebody. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know that he has previously made some sort of deal with Old Tom at this point. Yes. So there are multiple people on this ship that that have experience with this entity known as Old Tom. So
yes.
I think we're past the point of, is this supernatural or not? Now, is this supernatural in regards to what's actually going on the ship right now? Or is it an elaborate hoax? We don't know. We do know that Old Tom is a thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going on here now. So, I'm trying to get more of you in the shot than me, because you're way prettier.
There's still a lot of questions left unanswered.
Yeah. Yeah, lots still to answer in the last 25%. There's been a lot going on, a lot of action. People died. Other people almost died because they tried to mess with Arendt, and I mean,
There was a really bad storm.
Yeah, bad storm. There was a good quote during that time that made a lot of sense from the captain.
As forks of lightning struck the deck, Krause prayed for God to see them through this. And when that got no response, he prayed to Old Tom. So this is how men go to the devil, he thought bitterly.
As far as avoiding spoilers, again, still a lot going on at the 75% mark, which is something like, 370 pages in? There's a lot left to be answered in these last pages, in these last, 130
You're still
pages.
so unsure of like everything.
Right. Which
who to trust, who not to trust.
Right. I think the answers are there. We're just not quite piecing it together. We're trusting ourselves enough to piece it together.
Yeah. Because it feels like you're right there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have theories, but you don't want to sound stupid and be totally off the mark, or at least I don't. I mean,
he's good at keeping you like right on the edge.
Right.
There's a lot of themes of like courage and fear, and yeah, it's really.
He has a lot to say. I think I mentioned last time he has a lot to say about the treatment of women and their place or their supposed place in society, as opposed to what they could accomplish who would just get out of the way and let them do it.
And how there are some women that are okay with it.
Right.
Like, with, that's just how it is. And
yeah.
Well, there's like I like the dichotomy he has between Sarah and, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Cressy? Creesjie.
Just call her C.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's interesting to see the dichotomy of those two characters.
Yeah.
Because their perspectives are totally different on how, like, on what they want out of life as women and what they, like, how they expect to be treated.
There's a whole thing going on with the daughter that, frustrates me, but I'm hoping that there's sort of a breakthrough in that regard, and I'm, of course, intentionally being vague because I don't want to ruin anything. But,
yeah, because we want you to read this book.
Yeah.
You have to read this book.
Yeah, I think, I don't think anything is, I mean, it would have to go really wrong and this last 75 or last 25%,
Yeah.
for it, for it not to be another phenomenal read. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. For her, it's going to be it's going to be all about the answers, about what is actually answered and what is not.
Yeah. I'm not the kind of person that likes open-ended endings.
She does not at all.
I want to know all the information.
Yeah.
And I want it fully explained. Because if it doesn't make sense, then I'm going to think that it's a stupid ending and they just didn't think it through.
As evidenced by the last few books that she has read of mine.
Yeah. We don't want another pen pal ending.
Yeah,
if that kind of ending was in this book, you would be mad too. Come on.
I think we're talking about something totally different. You can't compare the two.
Whatever.
Can't compare the two. It's apples to onions.
But onions have layers.
And apples have a delightful crunch.
They have a core.
Onions have a core.
I know, but onions also have layers.
We'll be back when we finish the book.
Bye.
Alright, so we are back. We have finished Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. And what are your initial thoughts?
When I first finished it, I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. But I feel like since then, I have different thoughts.
Okay.
I didn't like it as much as I did his first book.
Agreed.
I'm thinking of giving it like 4 or 4.5 stars maybe.
My main issue with the book really was the ending. This felt like one big dump of information at the end. It's like, well, here you go. This is how I put this whole mystery together, kind of deal. That really kind of did it in for me. So I think that dropped it to a 4-star for me.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that I liked Evelyn Hardcastle is that we get answers, but we still have a lot left at the end to speculate on, and to try and piece together. And then here,
the characters in the book were literally sitting with each other.
Yeah, it's everyone left just sitting down.
What about this?
Okay, so this is what happened with this and this and this, and
yeah, it was kind of weird
because it
didn't match the rest of the book at all.
Well, so the book is 500 pages. I'd say 450 of those pages are building all this mystery up.
Yeah.
For the last 50 pages to sit down and explain everything out in the simplest way possible, and so that ending was a major letdown for me.
It was almost like he had an editor read it or something, and the editor's like, oh, well, as the reader, this doesn't make sense, or like, this isn't obvious enough.
Yeah.
So you have to explain these things. And I don't know, it kind of felt like an afterthought.
Yeah. So the ending was definitely a big letdown. Aside from that, though, the book as a whole was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Definitely took a lot of twists and turns.
It was a wild ride.
Yeah, definitely took a lot of twists and turns that it keeps you guessing on is this a novel of supernatural horror at sea? Is this a simple, not so simple murder mystery? Is it a combination of the two? What exactly is going on here? So it does a really good job of that. And there were definitely trappings of the same kind of writing that were in Evelyn Hardcastle. I mean, the man can write and he can weave a great tale. It's just very unfortunate that he felt the need to over-explain everything. And do you have anything to add, since I kind of ranted about the end there?
One thing I did like about the ending, you may have to put Spoiler Panda up. I like how even when they figured out what happened, the whodunit, what was revealed, there was that discussion of, oh, well, should we just let everybody else believe the alternate? And so I like that whole discussion because I like the idea of old Tom is really just something that we just let people believe because it's easier for them to believe in something of this old Tom, and that it's like, well, instead of thinking that it's that humans are just really that awful. You know what I mean? Like, I did like that aspect of the ending. I liked that part of the discussion. Like, oh, well, wouldn't it just be so much easier if we just let them believe that, you know, that it was old Tom, you know, back then and now. I don't know. I like that part of it. Because that is an interesting, you know, thing. Like, is that really how this story of the devil really came about? Is it just because someone wanted someone to blame for their crimes?
Right.
You know, or is it just something because it was just easier for people to believe it's supernatural,
right, or
spiritual instead of real?
The ending here certainly draws parallels between it and the ending of Murder on the Orient Express, where, you know, we get to the point where it's, okay, these people have done wrong. We know they've done wrong. Now what do we do about it? Are we going to let them go? And I think the difference here, though, is that, you know, with Murder on the Orient Express, those that died were very deserving of.
Yeah. Whereas this one, I feel like it was still
whereas a little this one, you're like, okay, sure.
Yeah. But you took it a little bit too far.
You killed you killed the folks that needed killing, but you also killed hundreds of other people.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with any of this, and were just kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I guess they're inconsequential.
Yeah.
In the end,
I feel like they were forgiven too quickly.
Very much so. It goes back to, you know, the ending just not quite.
I knocked over your squirrel.
It's not a squirrel.
Yes, it is. This pokey thing.
Pokey thing.
It's a squirrel, isn't it?
That's a fox. That is some
oh my god,
squirrel.
yeah, look at the ears.
That is some squirrel.
I never paid attention.
It's a fox squirrel.
All this time I thought it was a squirrel. It was here, I think.
Now it's cool here.
Okay.
He's being tucked away so you won't attack him again.
You're really that it, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh god. Now that my face is a tomato, and I probably blew everybody's eardrums with my laugh.
I'll turn your laughter down.
Thanks.
But
anyway.
So anyway, yeah, that was. Oh,
Havoc!
hi, buddy.
Oh, big yawn.
My goodness, you want to come say hi? Yay, Havoc! Yay! You're not gonna stay. It's okay.
He is not a lap
No,
cat.
no, he's not. No, he's not. Oh.
Let him go.
You see him swimming there for a second?
He's like, let me out.
It's okay, buddy. One day you'll be so old and decrepit that you'll be a lap cat whether you want to be or not.
Wow. Okay.
Please don't jump on there.
Oh dear.
We use the cat scratcher to hold the camera, and he has, of course, decided he wants to use the cat scratcher.
Come on.
Anyhow, we're getting way off topic here. We just got a little more cat footage, so that's something.
Yeah.
So yeah, the book is definitely worth picking up, especially if you like a sort of nautical murder mystery, a little bit of supernatural, maybe not. Got to read it to find out, unless you watch the spoilers, all that. So still well worth picking up.
Yeah.
Not as good as 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
Yeah, definitely read that one if you haven't.
Yeah. But this one is still well worth reading, especially because it's on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
So
it's totally worth it.
If you already have Kindle Unlimited, then I mean you're losing nothing. You know, just know that it's 500 pages, but you'll get invested pretty quickly, and know that the ending is not the best, but Yeah.
It's still enjoyable enough. I think it balances it out.
Yeah, still enjoyable. So, end of the day, 4 stars from me, and
I think 4.
And 4 for you.
Yeah.
So, this concludes another reading experience / experiment between the two of us. We'll be back again next month.
Oh yeah, we need your feedback.
Yes. So, first of all, we've decided we're just going to switch off month to month. So 1 month we'll read a book together. The next month we'll swap books, and we're just going to keep doing that until we get bored with it, or something to that effect. So for next month, though, we're trying to decide whether we want to give each other, again, like we've been doing, books that we like or that we think the other person will like, or we can switch it up. Give each other a book that we did not like, and see if maybe their opinions are totally different from our own.
Or should we just go off of pure entertainment factor?
Or just entertainment factor.
And pick something
doesn't
that's
have
ridiculous.
to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And just something schlocky and entertaining, which I'm sure we both have plenty of.
Yeah. Well,
so,
you know what I just realized though?
What did you just realize though?
It's Garbogust.
Yes, I will.
So we should probably go that route. What do you think?
I think we should still.
I don't know. You guys let us know.
I think we should let some of you weigh in on this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be next month. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. We did. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, Stuart Turton, for coming with books that both of us like.
Yeah. I hope that you all can enjoy this book in the same way we have. Let us know down below what you thought. Offer us suggestions on books you think we should read. And, of course, let us know what you think we should do in regards to this next swap. So, thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Drink great coffee.
And water.
And water. Stay hydrated. It's really hot out there, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.